So my alternative is that guy 7 years ago sitting on the edge of the bed about to overdose. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boorman, and if you do come through, if you're interested in the topics that we talk about, share your thoughts, what you go through. This is that type of community where we're open here, we're honest here, and we try and support each other as much as we possibly can. How are we doing? Look at this. How beautiful is that? I should really be in the sea, but I got so enthralled in my second book this morning that I am running a little bit late and forgot my stuff. So what can you do? Every single morning, Monday to Friday, I come down here and do the same morning routine. And the first thing that I do for the first 10 minutes is spend 10 minutes reflecting. And it's about anchoring me to where I am right now versus where I used to be. And I spend the first 10 minutes and I think to myself, shit, I'm alive, you know. The first thing I think we take for granted is that we're alive. 7 years ago, I was sat on the edge of the bed about ready to overdose, and I often think about every single morning, how people's lives would have been affected for the fact that I would have gone through with that. My kids, 8 years on, how would they have survived? There wouldn't be a little Alba, my 3-year-old. There wouldn't be a Jemima. There wouldn't be a man coach. And I think about all of the things that have happened since that point, that pinnacle point, and they form an anchor. They form an anchor in life in terms of, look how far you've come. And I think that's something that I would love for you to have, is that anchor, that like, wake up, it might not be fucking great for you right now. The effects of COVID might have stressed you out slightly. You might be in a difficult divorce. You might be trying to fight fit. Digby, Jesse, let's go. I don't know, the realities of life. But when we just take this moment here and something like this, and it, by the way, it's not always like that. Sometimes it's pissing down with rain here and blowing a gale. This is not like this perfect scenario. But when we have an anchor, and it allows us to put into perspective just about what has happened in our lives and where we've come from and where we are right now, the fact that we're alive right now, and the fact that I can talk to you on this phone and see that and just living life as it is, it really puts into perspective a lot of things about a lot of the micro external factors that try to plague our lives, try to affect our lives, that consume our lives. And I just think sometimes that when we create an alternative, and this is really important, when we create an alternative to not showing up, it's a really powerful mindset to have to show up. So the alternative to me not doing this walk, to not showing up to my business, to not showing up to do my runs, to not working on myself mentally, emotionally and physically, to not working with my clients, all of the things, everything that I do in terms of showing up at least 1% a day, the alternative is the lad at the edge of the bed about to overdose. All of the time. So when I say to myself, oh, what's the alternative to not showing up today? Well, you can take that path to that place. And reflecting on that every single day keeps it at the forefront of my mind. It keeps that self-awareness level at the highest possible level. So that I remind myself every single morning I'm down here of just the mission that we're on, of just the direction that we're going, of the reason that we must show up. Because when we don't start showing up, we definitely start fucking heading 1% in the wrong direction. And that ends up taking us in the wrong direction. That's the shit mentality to have. We don't want that shit victim self-pity, oh, woe is me mentality. Whoops. We want the I'm showing up, going all in, and this is the fucking reason why we're doing that. So find a point in your day, whether it's the morning, whether it's the transition routine, where you reflect, where you anchor yourself, where you think of the alternative to not showing up. And then showing up becomes non-negotiable because you have that emotional vision in your mind. You have that hardship, you think about that hardship. And a lot of people will say, well, why would you want to think about that period of your life when it was so negative, so down? It doesn't bring back very good memories, but it reminds you of why you need to show up. And I think sometimes we forget that. So don't you forget that. Fucking hell, I forgot my tripod and my shoulder is burning here holding this phone. So listen, I'm going to wrap up. In summary, reflection is important. Connecting with that place that you was in is important. Connecting with what the alternative is to not showing up is important. To making today and tomorrow a success. To making it non-negotiable, to showing up every single day and doing your thing every single day. Creating your mission. Creating your life that you want. Because the further we get down the line and getting closer to the end game, the less time that we have to show up. So value that time and value that thought process. Have an incredible day. If you're not on our priority list for our 28 days, get on there. Do not miss out on this. Get ready to go. We're going from May. The early bird opens next Thursday, and you've got to be on the email list, priority list, to get all of the deals and stuff that's going on in there. All right, guys, listen, have a good day. I'll catch up with you.